Hey YouTube, Kara Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Jerry Beansman Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for February 2022. This is probably the strongest Yu-Gi-Oh deck that I have, and it might even be like the top tier deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's been a while since I've updated the deck, so I figured it definitely needed an update with just all the newer support that you can run to make the Jerry Beansman deck that much more powerful. The whole deck revolves around just using Jerry Beansman as your main go-to attacker, whether it's, in attack position or defense. It is pretty powerful and pretty difficult for your opponent to get over. So that's the main focus of the entire deck. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So, starting off with the monsters. Now, I do ideally want to run just the Jerry Beansman, but I do have a couple other monsters in the main deck to at least help with the support and speed of getting Jerry Beansman out onto the field. So you want 3 of this card. It's got 1750 attack, which is pretty high for a level 3 normal monster, making it probably one of the best plant monsters in all of the game as well. So with it, you just have a better chance of drawing and summoning out this card onto the field. So we're just running 3 copies. Sadly, we can't run anymore. For more of the plant support, I also run 3 Lone Fire Blossom. Now, this is just an easy way to gain access to your powerhouse in the deck by distributing out your plant monster. You can even just get rid of the other 2 by attributing all 3 out into the graveyard and summoning out the Jerry Beansman onto the field. Just more deck thinning thanks to this 3 of. And for more support, I also run 1 Spore. This is just for level adjustment if you do need just another graveyard option with your Jerry Beansman to go into some synchro plays. One of my favorites is to use the level 1 Spore and the level 3 Jerry Beansman on the field to then summon out your Armory Arm onto the field, which you can then equip onto an additional Jerry Beansman you may have to just power it up even more. If you thought a Sword and Shield with Jerry Beansman is strong, try a Machine level 4 arm equipped onto it instead of the sword. And for the additional monsters in the deck, for the risk that it will banish it at the end of the turn, I do run 3 Rescue Rabbit just for more special summoning. I can use the Jerry Beansman as resources for an extra deck summon, and then have means to summon them back onto the field from the graveyard with some of the other spell and traps I'm running in the deck. So with it, you have that option for your Rescue Rabbit to at least summon out Jerry Beansman that much more quickly to the field, and then just the risk that they'll be destroyed at the end of the turn. If you even just want to attack with those 2 monsters on the field, it's all the better, because then you could just swing for 3,500 attack points in total against your opponent using the 2 Jerry Beansman. And then for the rest of the main deck monsters, I run 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring and 3 Effect Veiler. They're just added backup hand traps to run alongside Jerry Beansman. I didn't really want to overshadow this card with anything else in the deck. This is your powerhouse that you will go into, so it's really all you need for any of your actual field plays. You can rely on the extra deck. I don't use it often, but you have at least these added backup cards to stop your opponent's monsters or any monster that they think, or any search that they think would be better than just summoning out a Jerry Beansman onto the field and swinging into your opponents. And that is it for the main deck monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. If I thought Rescue Rabbit was a quick way to summon out Jerry Beansman onto the field, Unexpected Die is that much better because, 1, this card doesn't destroy Jerry Beansman, and it can give me the option for just summoning it out, and then also giving me my additional normal summon one, which I do open this card up most of the time in my hand whenever I play this deck, making for that much more of a consistent summon onto the field. So if I summon 1 Jerry Beansman, if my opponent hasn't given up already by this card, I can summon out 1 more onto the field. For more search power as well, I run 2 Painful Decision. You just send a level 4 lower monster to the graveyard to search out 1. So it's just a direct Jerry Beansman search to your hand. You send 1, search the other, and then you can just special summon the other one back from the graveyard to use on the field along with the other Jerry Beansman. For more equip power, I also run 2 Moonmere Shield and 2 Power of the Guardians, my favorite equip spells for Jerry Beansman. This just makes it so Jerry Beansman can attack almost over every monster on the field, making it the true powerhouse above all other monsters. And then Power of the Guardians comes in handy just for the additional attack and protection, keeping this card permanently on the field. If they don't have a means to get rid of Power of the Guardians, if they can just send Jerry Beansman, otherwise it's pretty much impossible. I run run 2 of each. I feel that's all you need. I thought of United We Stand, but that spell works more on focusing on all the different monsters you run, which this is really going to be all you have on the field. So you couldn't really hit as many big numbers as you could with the added combo of Moonmere Shield and Power of the Guardians. I also run 2 Forbidden Chalice, along with just being able to stop your opponent's monster effect. It can be an added bonus as an additional 400 attack on your Jerry Beansman. That's why I like running it, because it really doesn't negate any effect, because Jerry Beansman really didn't need any effect. It was just a level 3 normal monster, and that was good enough to make this card a top-tier powerhouse. The fact that it's at 3 definitely surprises me. And for some of the one-ups for the spells, I run 1 Monster Reborn and 1 Card Rotator. Now, the Card Rotator, you send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to change the battle positions of all monsters your opponent controls. Face down defense are now flipped to face up attack position. This is just a way for you to get around some of your opponent's other pesky monsters that they feel, had the audacity to be in defense position while facing the might of Jerry Beansman. So use Card Rotator to at least switch that card to attack position and face the level 3 plant monster like the monster it was supposed to be. And then as for the traps, fresh off the ban list, we are running 3 Skill Drain. Now, the need for monster effects on the field isn't really needed at all in this deck. When you fight against Jerry Beansman, you fight with, either your sword or shield or your bare knuckles against this monster. So with Skill Drain, we're just getting rid of all the monster effects on the field. There's no need for them, because with this card, it can really just go toe-to-toe with any monster on the field that it goes up against and should come out the victor. For more of that special summoning I was talking about earlier, I also run 3 Call of the Haunted. This is just a great way for you to special summon out the Jerry Beansman. If by some chance your opponent somehow defeats Jerry Beansman, then destroys it, you can summon it back onto the field with Call of the Haunted. If they thought, just getting rid of this card once on the field was going to be tough, when you activate Call of the Haunted and summon it back onto the field, they'll realize that they were probably in over their head and had to try again with the round 2 or round 3 or round 4 against Jerry Beansman. And I also run 3 Infinite Impermanence for the added effect negation against my opponent, especially if they go first and they're trying to set up something on the field before this card can hit the field. I can at least stop it on their turn by having no other cards on the field. And I really am only summoning maybe 1 or 2 monsters at a time, with the first one being Lone Fire Blossom and the second one being Jerry Beansman. So I also run 2 Summon Limit. This just shuts down a lot of decks and tells them to slow down, that, you summoned out 1 monster. Let me at least have my fight with my main go-to card against it before you even try and get out something else against it. And I don't really like using the extra deck. I really don't think the deck needs one. But as for running one, I run 1 Garden Rose Flora, level 5 plant options, 1 Queen of Thorns, additionally for the plant summons onto the field, 1 Brionac, 1 Black Rose Moonlit Dragon, and the 1 Armory Arm for the Synchros that I spoke of beforehand for the deck. And for the Link monsters, I run 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Pentastag, giving piercing damage to Jerry Beansman. It is quite scary. I don't feel it needs it, but still an added option if you wish. Also 1 Underclock Taker, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Win the Wind Charmer for the Spore option into the graveyard much quicker, and 1 Decode Talker, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, the 1 Link Karibo for the Spore again, 1 Apollosa, and 1 Borreload Dragon to finish off the rest of the extra deck. As for some of the combos that you can do in the deck, if you open up with your Unexpected Die, this is just the 1 card combo here, where you activate Unexpected Die and then summon out your Jerry Beansman onto the field. You can just pass turn there. That's pretty much what I'm comfortable with this card on the field. It's a very, very strong play. You can rely on this to at least out most of your opponent's plays they may try to do from the extra deck if you're playing against Sword Soul, and they try and just get a board presence on the field. They really should just feel intimidated enough, like by the fact that if you want to summon it in defense, you could be giving them a little bit of mercy. But other than that, if you summon it in attack position, this just means that you're being serious when you play against them. So I would mostly go for that play a good amount of the times with Unexpected Die. If you get really, really lucky and you open up some additional cards along with the Unexpected Die, like Power of the Guardians and Moonmere Shield, these can be added on to your opponent if they show that they're going all in on the game and you don't want to show them Mini Mercy. These could be the cards you equip on to Jerry Beansman and show that you're being just as serious using this deck against your opponent as they are using whatever meta deck they try to go up against the Jerry Beansman deck with. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm surprised that I finally wanted to share with you all my favorite and most powerful tier meta deck. I hope you all enjoy making copies of the Jerry Beansman deck as well. Who knows when the update will be? Probably when we get more support for the deck in the near future. But as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.